morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio. So today, I've got some news, but it's kind of weird news. You see, nobody's really come out and announced everything. But what we've got is a new product, though we have very little information about it. And we have a name change coming for the upcoming Japanese set. It's all very strange. So starting off then, first of all, what do we see? Well, World Down has had its name changed to... Well, I need to give a shout out to the lovely Tunu1223 here. You see, it's technically been changed to Mugen Zone, but really, in Japanese, that means Infinity Zone. So the upcoming set, which was going to be called World Down, is now actually being called Infinity Zone. And if anybody's wondering why that is, we're in the middle of a global pandemic. Giving a Pokemon set the name World Down in the middle of a global pandemic would, shall we say, be short-sighted. Now, here's the thing. You can't blame Pokemon for giving this name initially. It was a name that made absolute perfect sense. It's the kind of dramatic name that you might expect to see on a Pokemon set. So, it makes perfect sense to me. You know, the one that's just come out in Japan is called Rebellion Crash. So in the context of those kind of things, World Down makes perfect sense. The problem is, you can't call it that in the middle of a global pandemic. It doesn't work. It would be a massively, massively insensitive name, so we can't do it, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen. We just can't do it. So the reason we know this, the set has actually been put up for pre-order on Amazon over in Japan, and that's where we saw that the name has in fact been changed, and I believe it's actually now been put up for pre-order in a second place, Mint Mall, which has gone and changed the name as well. So fair to say there's been no official announcement yet, but fair to say that there is now confirmation. If two different online sellers have both changed the name and both changed the name to the same thing, that makes sense. Infinity Zone? Fine. I mean, honestly, right, when I think Infinity Zone, it reminds me of Ultimate Zone. Now, it's a card you may or may not remember, but Ultimate Zone was a stadium card, which was all for Arceus. Now, a long time ago, there was an Arceus set that was literally called Arceus. And there were many, many different Arceus. And there was one Arceus that was really, really good at getting energy out onto the field. Now, you had to have a bunch of different Arceus. It wasn't easy to use. It was Ripple Swell. If you had 6 Arceus in play, all of which had a different type, you could get Arceus in every type. You could search your deck for up to 6 basic energy and attach each of those to a different Pokemon that you have in play. But of course, they all had to be Arceus. Although I suppose it expanded with Skyfield. But then you had Ultimate Zone, which was the Arceus Stadium. And Ultimate Zone said, during each player's turn, the player may move an energy card attached to one of his or her bench Pokemon to his or her active Arceus as often as he or she likes. So basically, you would use the colourless Arceus to get the energy on the field and move it around. That's what I think when I think of Infinity Zone. It reminds me a lot of Ultimate Zone, although I doubt there's any real connection. Remember that this is the Eternatus set. The set which is bringing Eternatus into the Pokemon trading card game. And we know it's going to feature Eternatus V and Eternatus V Max. And we are expecting it to be a Darkness type. And we are expecting it to include cards that will support Eternatus V Max. Remember, we did a video about this, but the information originally came from the lovely Primal Lugia over at PokeGuardian.com. It is still set for release on the 5th of June 2020. As it stands at the moment, we're not expecting any delays. We've not been told about any delays. Doesn't mean there won't be, but as it stands at the moment, we are not expecting any delays to what is now called Infinity Zone. We're expecting it to be coming along on June the 5th, focused around Eternatus and all of that good stuff. The only thing that's actually changed here is the name. And actually, I should give a quick update here that does come from the lovely Primal Lugia. I have gone and checked this, should have checked it initially, but the Japanese name for Eternatus is actually Mugendina. So Mugen Zone in that context does make a pretty good name. Like I say, it's probably going to be Infinity Zone. That's pretty much the translation of the name. So that's interesting, but very much did need to be done. The other piece of news we have here is... Now, this did come from TotalCards.net, lovely site we like very much indeed, and it is the Pokemon TCG Battle Academy, and the dummy image on the screen does come from the lovely folks over at Total Cards, though I do caution you it is very much just a dummy image. But it looks quite cool, and I do quite like using it because then we've got Total Cards on the screen, and we need to give those dudes some love. Now, it is coming out on the 31st of July, and it is priced around about the same as the Pokemon collection boxes. Now, we don't actually know anything about it whatsoever. So, time for some reckless speculation. All we know is the price and the release date of the 31st of July. Again, I will probably do a video about this in the next day or two in terms of delays of products, but as it stands at the moment, there's no confirmation of any delays. So let's get that out of the way. So, Pokemon Battle Academy, what do we think this is? It has got to be a 2-player set. It's got to be. It doesn't make any sense to me. Now remember, we have the League Battle Decks, and the clue is very much in the name for these. The League Battle Decks are designed to basically get you out to Pokemon League and be battling. They are designed to make it easier to actually start taking part in proper tournaments and going down to your league, etc. So calling them League Battle Decks, decks that let you go and battle down at your league, this makes absolute perfect sense to me. But Battle Academy really does seem like learning. You go to an academy to learn, that's the point. So I don't think these are going to be the real competitive focus that we might see for League Battle Decks. I think they're going to be kind of 2-player starter sets. Now, I don't know, but these remind me very much of trainer kits. Now, we had a trainer kit for Sun and Moon, which did feature Alolan Sandslash and Alolan Ninetales. And we had an amazing one that I adored from X and Y, featuring Pikachu Libre and Suicune. And we also did have another X and Y trainer kit, which did feature Bisharp and Wigglytuff. We had one that featured Latios and Latias, and we had one that featured Sylveon and Noivern. The point is, we've had a bunch of these over the years. These are not unfamiliar products, I think is fair to say. So, yeah, it kind of reminds me of those. Now, for those of you that may or may not know, these are basically products which are designed to help people learn to play the game. They are very much designed as kind of a 2-player starter kit. So it would kind of make sense that the Battle Academy would be a very similar kind of thing. Again, no guarantees, no confirmation here, but that's where I'm thinking with this. That's my inclination. I think they're going to be like this. I think they're going to be designed for 2 players to learn to play the game. Now, it is worth noting that these do have exclusive cards in. One of the interesting things about the Pikachu Libre one is that Pikachu Libre never ever made it into a proper set. It only made it out as part of the trainer kit. So maybe we'll get some kind of exclusive in the near future in these kind of kits. And these kind of kits generally do come with a couple of exclusive cards. They're rarely particularly great or playable, but they usually do come with exclusive cards. So very, very much something to bear in mind. Could these be the Sword and Shield equivalents of the old trainer kits? Don't know. But certainly that's a prediction that I would be moderately comfortable making. Either way, ladies and gentlemen, that's the news we've got, and I'm sorry that the news is a little bit wishy-washy and prediction-laden, but the fact of the matter is we just don't have the information here. I apologise. But I'd like to know what you think about these stories, so let me know in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWassy, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, where you can do exactly that. And please do make sure you're checking out youtube.com/WassyPlays, where you can find out about a whole bunch of games that don't have Pokemon in, but are pretty gosh darned awesome nonetheless. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.